Just because you are the driver in your car does not mean that you will not go through adversity.
That's probably one of the best pieces of advice.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Life Unedited, where we have real conversations with real people. Today I'm talking to my guy D, or Darian, I should say, for those of you that don't know him. Man, this is my dude. We've been through the ups and downs and the ugly. Quite a bit of ugly. But, before we kind of jump into, your story, Darian, I want to start off with a little game. It's something new, calling it Life in Three. Just three quick questions, kind of like a snapshot of who you are before we kind of dive into things. No wrong answers. Just give us your first thoughts. Things that come to mind. So first one being, if money didn't matter, what would you be doing right now?
If money didn't matter, what would I be doing right now? Probably two things: playing video games and streaming. It's like that. We'll definitely get into that at some point. And then I think spending time with my family. That's something that I've learned I value a lot more than I think I've ever noticed in my life. That's like a recent thing for me.
Yeah, family's important, man. Spending time with your loved ones, especially while they're here, right? And cherishing those
100%.
moments. It's huge. Awesome, cool. What would you say is a unique talent or skill that you have that most people don't know about?
Ooh, I'd want to say something like video games or like basketball, just because like I'm the most average person ever that you'll see. Like I'm just a normal person. Um, but I actually think it's like a really weird thing I have is like uh problem solving, but without like talking, bro. Like if you just say something, I'll just kind of be sitting there and just listening. And like I always get in trouble with it with my girlfriend, but like I'm just trying to problem solve everything. Like how can I fix every person's problem? Not my own, but everyone
Yep.
else's. So I think that's like a hidden talent of mine.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. And I totally get it. I kind of do the same thing too. And this is actually a fun one. What's the last song you added to your playlist?
I'm gonna just go last album, but it's Codeine Cowboy by Babyface Ray. He's a Detroit rapper. It's like it's just I don't know. It's good. I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. Like I just sometimes listen to it when I'm like if I'm working out. Like it's not too up tempo, but it's like not too relaxed. It's like a really good balance for me because a lot of stuff I listen to is like very up tempo. Like makes me want to like jump through a wall. So this is like a good balance for me.
Get you pumped up, get you
Yeah.
fired up. Is that like a song you like for the lyrics or just like beat?
Honestly, I put the whole album on my phone and I don't think there's a song on here that I even looked at the name of because I literally just like let it play. I'd like during my workout this morning, I like turned it on and I just like normally just turn my phone face down for my workout unless it's like an
Okay.
emergency. So I don't even really know which song grasped my attention, but the whole thing just flowed really well, like top to bottom, and I was just like, damn, this was good. Like I enjoyed this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I kind of do the same thing. I mean, as you know from Scott too, that man always be listening to instrumentals, and so
Bro.
he got me on instrumentals while working. But I think the last song that I probably added was the it's like one of the main songs from Sinners when like
Okay.
when they're in the house in the barn
Oh yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
he's singing with the guitar and everything. That instrumental is on Spotify and it's actually kind of cool to listen to while you just work. I mean, just something new, like spice it up. But that's it. So now that we kind of know about you a little bit more, let's dive into your story. Let's do it. First question I always kind of just like asking when we get into this is, tell me who you are beyond your job title. Like who really is Darian?
A very kind person. I am extremely competitive. I'm a hard ass about a lot of things. I'm a perfectionist, but I care, I think, a lot more than people will ever know. Like, I think I'm extremely empathetic, but I have a really tough way of showing it, like kind of like that, just tough culture. But being raised around like mostly women, I'm very soft. Like I'm just a really warm person. Like I like to care about other people more than I care about myself, and I usually put a lot of people before me, like
Mm,
in just about every instance. So I would say I'm just like a really kind, caring person. I love to laugh. I love to have fun. Uh, but I'm also like I am a hard ass about some things. I'm like I'm a
hmm
hard head person as well too. Like I'm very stubborn. You know, I'm every average person, I think, but I just like I take it from my grandma, but I care a lot more about others to a fault usually than I do myself. Like that's who I would say I really am.
Hmm. That's a good way of putting that. Man, I'll give you some props for that one, man. Off the spot, too. On the spot doing that. Transitioning into the next question, like what would you say inspired you to get into tech, into what you're doing now? Like what made you want to do that?
All right, that's a okay. So I don't want to say that's a loaded question, but it's only loaded because I think this makes the entire story of who I am right in this exact moment. So it's going to be a little bit of a tangent, but I think it starts with 2019 November,
Hmm.
um, Black Friday. So I worked in commercial real estate at the time. I knew I like really hated my job,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wasn't happy. So I remember having like a mind or not like a body numbing anxiety when I thought about the fact that I had work on Monday, and I'd never experienced that in my life. So I laid in bed for 3 days. When I came back to work, I was just like, I hadn't slept for those 3 days. I like was kind of like not really sleeping, and I was kind of going like a little bit crazy, like just a little bit. And I kept telling like the IT guy at my job, his name was John. I would tell him like I'm gonna stream Call of Duty, like that new. At the time, it was MW19. It had just come out. I really looked really fun, and I was like, I'm gonna stream this game. I'm gonna stream this game. I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym before I come to the office because the office was right across from a 24. And then I'm going to go home, I'm going to cook, and then I'm going to stream from 8 p.m. until midnight or 1 a.m. And then I'm going to sleep for 4 hours. And like, I was just like, I'm going to do this.
Time to lock in.
Yeah. And then I decided, actually, I'm going to quit my job. I hate my life here. And I'm going to
Mm.
like, I have savings and I'm going to like try something different. I'll just like go back to where I was working, which was in a restaurant called Jack's. And I was like, it'll just give me enough supplemental income to like chase what I want to do and enough free time. So I quit, started at Jack's January like 2nd or 3rd, 2020, worked part time, and then started streaming. But I like didn't really know what I was doing, didn't know how to interact. I didn't even watch Twitch at the time. I was just like, I just like the idea of like I can play video games and talk to people. I didn't know like it was hard for people to find you. I didn't know anything. Like as much of
Mm-hmm.
a gamer as I like was super out of the loop. And so I
Yep.
like started streaming for my PlayStation, and then I was like, oh, I love this game. And then fast forward, I think it was whatever day COVID happened in March. They basically came to me and they're
Yep.
like, hey, Darian, we're going to lay you off. And I was like, I've never been without a job. So I'm like, what do I do? I called my mom. She's like, oh, you're going to go for unemployment, all these different things. It's like, okay. Went home and literally like sat there and I was like, damn, okay. Unemployment at the time was like it was like $600 every 2 weeks. This before they announced anything. So I was like, okay, based on this, like I can live with this in my savings for 6 months. So I got 6 months to try gaming, like, and I'm just gonna go
Yep.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time we thought COVID was going to be a 2 week thing, but unemployment was like a
Right.
6 month thing. So I was like, I'm just going to take the 6 months and just go for it. And
Mm-hmm.
everyone told me that was a bad idea, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I basically took gaming, did a bunch of stuff in it, tried a million things, streamed, played competitively, made content, and just like I fell out of love with the game and what I was doing. And I was working at this computer company called Paradox. I did like sales and everything remote. I worked an abundance of hours, and that's where you and I met. Is I would go to
Yep.
Cal
Yep.
Fit to play basketball, and we seen each other like it was 1 week. We seen each other like every day, and then finally you just came up to me and you were like, "Hey, what's up, bro? Like, nice to meet you. I see you in here all the time." And I remember we like that was just kind of it. And then at the end of like we didn't even play together. Like we just did our own thing. And at the end of it,
That's right. I
we
remember that.
like sat like we walked right to where everybody puts their phone to record, which is like where the little
Yep. Yep.
fire thing is, fire extinguisher. And
Yep.
we just sat right beneath that and talked like 3.5 hours. And you were like,
That was
it just
crazy.
like, it just clicked. And then we just started hooping. And then long and behold, you were like, man, I met this dude at the gym, bro. He told me about like being a software engineer. And I'm like, don't we need like college for that? And like, you're like, nah, we went and sat at this coffee shop and you're telling me all about like basically how much money we can make, like who this guy is named Scott. We play
This
basketball
was
with
a
him,
pivotal moment.
dude. You're like he like bro. I went over to his house. I was like, huh? Like what you got
Didn't
going
even
on,
know
bro?
the dude.
Dude had no clue. So I'm like sitting there like I think you're about to get scammed, bro. I was probably like your mom at the time, like Kaylin, don't do this. This is bad. And I remember we sat there and looked at what engineering salaries were, and we were like, dang, what could we buy with this
On
much
level,
money?
what was it?
Yes, bro.
Levels dot FYI or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. And we took the HTML course, and then like I just kind of was like, this is not for me. And then, but I was like, damn, that money sounds good. And I didn't really know what to do with it because I was like, I don't really have a passion for this. Fast forward, I think like a week, you're like, oh, we're gonna go play basketball today. That's Scott. And I was like, him? Like, oh, I know him. He used to come into Jack's all the time. And you're like, just go introduce yourself and like say you want to talk to him after. He's like, he's really cool. So I went up and talked to him. And then after, I think we were done, he was just like, what do you do again? And I told him, he's like, you'd be a great product manager. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I trust you. Sure. Like, what do I got to do, bro? Like, he's like, they make like $300,000. I was like, bro, what? Like,
Say less.
dude, I just need like $30,000 and I'm good right now. It was like, Kaylin, you're going to be an engineer. Darren, you're going to be a product manager. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what to do here. And it was like, go watch YouTube videos, go do this, go do that. It's one of those moments where it's like, wow, like we went and did this. And at the time, I didn't even understand what was happening. Just to kind of wrap up, it's like I worked at Aritzia, grinded to be a software engineer, that knew I didn't want to be, but just kept trying, and like eventually just came to the conclusion for myself. Like no matter how many times Scott told me, or you told me, or someone else told me, like Darian, just do something else. It's like I'm not going to do it until I believe it for myself and I understand what I like. What am I pivoting for? I didn't understand my why for so long, and then I realized like my why is what I want. And what I want is a hybrid or work from home schedule. I want to make more money and I want to work in tech because like I love technology. Like I love it. It's the coolest thing in the world. And we live in like, in my opinion, probably the coolest day and age because like we're like the world has so many crazy tools being made every day, man.
Now that you are in tech sales, if you could cut out the fluff, everything that, just the fluff to get there, if someone wanted to do something similar, what would you say, what piece of advice would you give them as far as like first steps that they should take?
You're going to have to drop your ego. You got to. You're going to start from the bottom. You have no say about anything that pertains to your role at a company. Number one, like drop whatever ego you have. And like for everyone that says they don't have one, you do because I say I don't and I know I do. Like it just is what it is. You have to like understand that if you're trying to go work at a company, they're the powerhouse. Like most places really don't need you, especially because you're not proven yet. Like when you get to a certain level, it's a whole different conversation. If you want to break into this space, it requires treating jobs as if okay, the way it was broken down to me, and I think it's the best way to break it down, is like you're going to go hunt down a job. You're going to treat them like a prospect as if you were already doing this job. So this job requires
Fake it till you make it.
yeah, dude, honestly, it's like this job requires understanding the customer profile, your ideal customer profile, your ICP for whatever product or market that you're in. So like for instance, if you're trying to go find a job and you want to work at a startup, let's say you want to work at a startup that's less than 20 people, you need to go find every single startup that is hiring that has less than 20 people that fits what you're looking for or that you're open to. You need to go find out who's hiring for that role. You need to go understand what it is that they do. You don't need to understand it where like you can sell them their product, but understand what you're talking about. If you're going to go talk to the person that's making this magic mouse right here, you might at least want to understand like, oh, hey, I've seen your product. I know what it does. I think that's cool, or I don't really think that's cool. Whatever it is, like sell them on the idea of you. And it takes like really treating these jobs like prospects. Like when I did it, I had a spreadsheet on Notion that had a link to the job. It had the person I reached out to. It had the date I reached out to them. And I had a tracker button to say like if I followed up or not. And I think I did 76 of them. And the first opportunity I got came from somebody I met at Aritzia. It didn't even come from that tracker. The second opportunity I got came from somebody else I knew, which was like me networking. It didn't come from that tracker.
I
But
was just gonna say networking,
yeah, dude, but I'll
very
tell you
important.
what happened was eventually like a couple of those people got back to me. I ended up getting a screening call for like this company that I really wanted to work at, but I was just like, I'm actually really happy where I'm at. Like this opportunity doesn't make as much sense for me. I'm going to stick with where my roots are at right now. But again, it's literally treating every single potential job as if it's a potential customer and that you're already a salesperson at this company selling something to
Mm,
somebody else. So it's like you have to kind of put yourself in that mindset and like in that mode. And if you don't know how to do the job, there are incredible tools out there. Like ChatGPT, Claude can help you to understand and really coach you up on understanding what your job, like what it means to do that job. And by literally like copying a job description, dropping it in, hey, I want to go for this role. What do I need to understand? Break it down to me.
yep.
What's their part? Like you gotta really, bro, people aren't just handing out 6-figure jobs. Like put in the work that it's gonna take to land this. And like okay, let's say you don't put in the work and you get lucky and like because that's what it is. It's luck. At the end of the day, no matter how much work you do, it's still luck. If you get a job, do you want to keep it? Do you want to be successful? Do you want to grow? Then it's going to require like you to grow your skills. And if not, you will fizzle out because like selling products is so entry level for so many companies, but their most valuable asset is those people that really sell a ton for them.
If you're in a position right now where you're looking for a job, don't be picky. Don't be picky. If you see a job in the listing, pick that job. Who cares what it is, what they do? Don't be picky. Don't worry about if it's an internship. Try to maximize all the opportunities that come your way. And also, instead of just throwing your resume into the void and at every single, job posting, try to get to know the recruiters. Try to befriend the recruiters and, like grow a relationship with them because that will actually go way further than you just throwing your resume out there and just hoping and praying that somebody will look at it or it'll drop out of the cabinet and they'll pick it up and be like, oh, Darian, oh no, this is a cool dude, okay, let me hit him up. You know what I mean? Like try to do more.
Scott has always told us, like, bro, go kick every door down. Make them tell you no. Make them tell you no. Like, go bother them. And
Like irritate them.
yeah, and it's so true because like there was a BDR, like an entry level sales role for a small tech company in Sacramento. I seen it, I applied, didn't hear anything back. I even got a referral from an internal employee, didn't hear anything back. Knocked on their office door, which was when like I had to wait for somebody to get in the elevator that happened to be going to that floor for a different suite because you need a key
Yep.
card, and just waited and waited and waited, walked in, knocked on the door, talked to a recruiter. Oh yeah, we actually seen your thing. Cool. So like what is it about me that didn't intrigue you? Tell me because I want to like either show you you're wrong or I want to learn. Like what can I do better? What can I showcase better? And it was like, well, you have all this software engineering experience. Why are you applying for a sales role? And I was like, damn, okay. I got to go back to the drawing board. So what I'm showing people is that I'm actually not interested in what you have going on. I'm interested in something else. They're asking me what I want to do
Mm,
with my career, and I'm talking about everything but growing as a salesperson. Why do they want to invest their time and money into me? Like, you have to
interesting.
think about those things. And I didn't understand that.
I do want to also kind of, I guess, not pivoting because I already know the answer to this question, but who's been the most important mentor or influence in your life, and what's one lesson from them that you think everyone should hear?
I'll start with Scott because he's referenced so much. Is like, dude, if it was not for somebody like being more selfless than I am, I think I would have probably given up on trying to be great or good or wherever it is I'm trying to do. Really, it's like would have given up on myself probably a long time ago and been really okay with just like whatever happens in life and like kind of like he always says like not being in the driver's seat, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of being in the back seat of
Yep.
your own car. Like I that would have been me. That's probably one of the best pieces of advice because he like told me like watch Mr. Robot, you'll understand it. It's gonna like you'll get it more than Kalen will. Like it's so tailored to you. And I'm like not understanding it, and but it breaks down as like he's not in the driver's seat of his own life, and all these things are happening. He's doing things, but like he's not really doing them. Somebody else kind of is. Like he's so influenced by everything else happening. And it's not that like I was taking influence. It's that I just was so okay with whatever cards got dealt my way. Like, okay, cool. I guess that's how life is.
That's a
Like,
good way of putting it.
like that's just how it's gonna be then. I guess like no real fight at some point. Like maybe I did when I was younger, but it was out of my system for sure. And that piece of advice was like incredible.
Like you're the one driving the car, which is so true. Like, but just because you're in control and you're the one driving the car doesn't mean that there aren't external factors. Doesn't mean that your tire won't pop at any given moment. Doesn't mean that your engine won't go out at any given moment. Doesn't mean that there aren't other people around you who could also potentially get in your way.
Yep.
Like, just because you are the driver in your car does not mean that you will not go through adversity. And so I think, yeah, kind of just going back to what you were saying, having someone that's like, I don't know, I just want to say first, I appreciate you even bringing that up. Having someone that is kind of, for some reason, always grounded when chaos is happening, I think it's also super important. 100%. And just having someone, like you said, is just like, hey, everything's going to be all right. Just keep pushing. Just keep going. Because, yeah, you're going through adversity, but so did everybody else, along their way to get to where they are now.
100%.
And so, no, that was awesome. That was great. And I guess, before we wrap up, I do want to end with something a little bit deeper. We talked about your wins, your challenges, your journey. But I want to leave people with like a piece of you they might not find anywhere else. And so I have one last question, and that is, what's a chapter of your life that you don't talk about often, but that truly shaped you, shaped who you are today?
Something I've recently learned about myself, and I alluded to it in the beginning, but it's like how important family is. I lost my dad when I was 2, and that never really affected me, like ever. Like I was almost like something I could like just in joking be like, that's good. That it just is what it is. Being 28 now, having a girlfriend, I'm the same age my dad was when he had me. He passed away 2 years later. Like, maybe it's like being in a serious relationship with somebody like I do want to spend the rest of my life with now. It's like it opens your eyes to like questions you have and trying to understand like how to be a better partner and like all these different things that normally we would turn to like our father. And so not having that has been rough. Probably the roughest it's ever been. Like I think this past like year, bro, I probably cried the most I ever have in my entire life. And it's like it just comes in random moments, and like it's forced me to be really appreciative of like all the people I have around me. Like, and if I'm not making the best effort to talk to them and grow that relationship, because I think you understand this, and like I know it's like it's really hard when you're working your ass off towards something to put energy and effort into like other things around you. If it's your relationship, it's hard. Like don't let anybody tell you it's not. It's really difficult, man. Like if I had met my girlfriend when we lived in that apartment, like there wouldn't be a relationship, because like it's so much that it takes out of you. And like even if it's picking up the phone and calling your mom for 5 minutes, like and like all these different things, like it's hard, bro. It's so hard because you are so tired. You do just want to play video games and be mindless and lay in bed like in your free time. Literally, like you're fried. And I think now more than ever I've needed to lean into my support system. Like just like in terms of like I'm doing okay in my life actually. I have like just about everything I think I've ever talked about I wanted. Like, and that's just like materialistic wise, right? But like girlfriend, like I've always said I wanted a relationship, and I have that. Like amazing partner, like the coolest. And like all these great things happening. I've started to learn like, oh, like people aren't going to be around forever. And like, you don't really know when that moment is. And a lot of that does like truly lean back into my dad of like, he went to bed at night thinking he's going to wake up the next morning and like hang out with me as a little toddler. And like, none of that happened for him. And like being like, damn, like that could happen to any person that I love and care about at any given moment. And so like, for me, it's like, I think it's been like, just this week specifically, where like I tried to incorporate this new thing for myself, where like I call my grandmother, who's my dad's mom, because she's
Mhm.
like, her and my mom are 1A and 1A. Like it doesn't matter. Like those two women rule my world. And like obviously my girlfriend is like of the highest. You know, she is just that's she's the boss, right? But those two women like have made me really who I am. And so like I've tried to make an effort of I told her like, hey, I'm gonna either call you for 5 minutes every day or at least every other day just to check on you and like, you know, just make sure everything's good. And like, bro, when I say literally, didn't call her yesterday, and so that would have, and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna call her today. She called me and was just like, oh, hey, I was in the hospital, I wasn't feeling it, bro. It's just like one of those things, and like she's totally okay, but it's just one of those things where like
Mm,
the one
interesting.
day I've called you 3 days in a row, and the one time I don't, like, you know, it's like it's that it was such a reminder of like, dude,
Mm,
you have no clue what is going on around you. Everything that's happening every day, and like all of it is like a culmination of every decision that's been made for the last 28 years in my life. And so like you know, some things you're paying for, if it's like, you know, your credit card, or like, you know, if you have a car payment or whatever, like you're paying your debts. And then like, you know, if you want to be healthy, you're paying your debts to your body. And then like, but it's like you got all these great other things that, like you gotta actually go put the time and effort into. Like it's not forced upon you,
right.
right? Like to grow a relationship with your mother or your father or your brother, it's like you have to go put in the time and the effort.
Just being present in the moment and enjoying what it is you're doing and reflecting, but also being grateful. So learning how to be appreciative of the things that you have in your life and the people around you and your health and your job, whatever it is. Like I think every single morning, not I think every single morning I start my day off with gratitude. Like nobody really knows that, no, like, but I do. Whether it's in prayer, whether it's in me reading, um, or me just saying it out loud as I'm getting ready. I'm always saying how grateful I am, but it's more so as an opportunity for me to remind myself these are the amazing and great things that I have, and just being appreciative for breathing, for being, present in this moment and being alive, because it's like you said, you never know what could happen.
And
And
I want to add one
yeah.
thing really quick. So
Hmm.
because you're right, yeah, man, you are so right. Like I didn't understand the value in just being able to go to sleep and wake up and like my limbs work, and it's crazy.
You can
And
see,
it's,
you can hear, you can taste,
bro, it's
you
like
can use your
sometimes
hands, like the simplest things.
just be thankful for it. But like
Right.
one person I know that I didn't mention this entire thing, and like I have to say something, is like my man Renzo. That is like, if you know me, you know him. Like that is my, like that is literally like, bro, we're attached at the hip. But when you talk about advice and things like that, that's like the definition of a person that's like, for me, had so much influence in just knowing that things will work out. Like we will genuinely figure it out the same way you told me, but like, you know, his way is just like a different verbiage, but it's like it's more of just like a, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Like we're in the worst possible position, but we gonna figure it out. And
Right,
like
right.
just finding a way to like kind of crack a laugh about everything, no matter how hard it gets. And like, how are you going to be willing to accept the things you want and go get them if you're not even appreciative of like what's in front of you and what you have right now? And I kind of told him, I was like, you would be thankful to have these problems 2 years ago. Like, think of what the next 5 and the next 10, like, think of all the great problems you're going to have. Like, doesn't mean you're not going to have normal people problems, like, you know, a relationship or a broken finger or this broke and I got to pay for it. Like, doesn't mean you're not going to have those. But think of like what your struggle is right in this moment. And did you even think 2 years ago you could even be in the position to have that problem? Like,
Right. I see what you're
taking
saying.
taking a moment to
Hmm.
just be like, damn. And I told him, I was like, go back to like what you tell me. Like, damn, everything is gonna be all right. Like this actually ain't even that bad. And he kind of sat there and was just like, man, you're not even wrong. Like that's crazy. Like you're so right. And it's the same thing for me. It's the same thing for you. Like, you know, I don't know if like they know, like you went and bought a home. You're dealing with a different set of problems. But these are
Yep.
problems that like when we met, these are problems you wanted. These are now problems you have. And now you're like, sometimes I'm sure you're like, oh man, this, but like
Of
there was
course.
a point when you were at your mom's and being like, "Dog, I just want to buy a house. I want this car." And you have all of everything you said you've ever wanted, down to the dog. You have it. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
Like spot
That's
on.
true.
Like you manifested it. It's like the problems
Definitely
that like you
blessed.
have.
Hmm.
It's like, almost be thankful for them, because like there's people that are
Right.
way worse, and that's never to like mitigate someone else's problems or invalidate how they're feeling. But like in those really tough moments, sometimes you almost have to like do the opposite of stressing yourself and like reflect and almost like be appreciative. You have to like kind of counteract how crazy your brain is going, because in those really tough moments, man, it's like really easy to like act out of character or do something irrational. And like you just got to remember, like there's some person out there today that like didn't wake up, or like somebody that can't doesn't have nearly the same problems as you. And like, bro, it's just one of those things. Like it's a gentle reminder. Again, it's just like a very gentle reminder of like, kind of like just take a moment sometimes. Like it's not, it's even in its worst, it could always be worse somehow. And like that's crazy to say, but it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. Woosah a little bit.
Hundred
Sit back,
percent, bro.
relax, take a deep breath, and think about all the things that you have now that at one point in time you wish you had. Um, yeah, no, that's great. That's great, and it's a great note to end on too. And so
Absolutely.
I do just want to say thanks for being here. It was great having you on, bro. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming on the show. But for everyone out there, thanks for watching as well. If you know someone whose story you want to hear or have questions you'd love me to ask future guests, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, till next time, I'll catch y'all later.